and then we did HTML, like we're CSS stuff on Sunday. So and Mike, have
I
you done
to be
anything?
here to keep y'all on task, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And we're live.
Taskmaster. Mike, did you do anything on your own time with the course, or are you in the same place? Or
No, Matt, we are live.
oh, we're live. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Attention,
Awesome.
we are live.
Yeah.
Millions and millions.
We're live.
Yeah, I think what I did in my own time was just to try understanding the aspect tests. Yeah, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, but of course, what I didn't get so clearly is what to write the aspect tests for. So I guess that's what.
Yeah.
Because I'm just coming back from doing the cucumber test, and then now we have hello, and now we have like the aspect. So I'm trying to get the balance. Yeah, I don't have the balance yet. Yeah.
I mean, I think you can, like, there's not really like a right or wrong answer to that. I don't think. Like, I guess the way like the course does it in the way that it's done in like Website One and you know, some of the projects at Agile Ventures is like they use Cucumber for like the higher level acceptance tests, and then like drop down and do like unit testing with the RSpec. But like I've taken courses where we did acceptance tests with RSpec, you know, so. Yeah.
Okay.
If that helps at all. But I guess like do you understand the difference between unit tests and acceptance tests, Mike?
Sorry?
Do you understand the difference between acceptance and unit tests?
Yeah, acceptance tests are more geared towards user actions, like what the user does on the UI. And then I think the unit test should be testing functions and maybe methods within the code base. So yeah, and I think yeah, I think that's as much as I understand.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Like, do you want to share your screen with us, and maybe you can, because like I guess so. Your question is more to do like specifically with this week's homework, what you should be writing RSpec tests for. Is that?
Yes, really. Like in the okay, where we left in the week 5 course, week 5 of the course, where we left last time. We were actually writing RSpec tests, and I think Dan was going through writing some tests for some stuff, and I didn't understand why he was writing them, and
I
was also copy pasting stuff. Yeah, I was also copy pasting stuff, and I didn't understand why I was copy pasting whatever I was copy pasting. So
yeah,
that's why I went to do a little bit of reading, but then I came back. I think maybe same place that I was at that time.
You were even more confused then. Do you want to share your screen, Mike, and we can like actually get into specifics?
Yeah. So
I
think
Taimur or Peter, do you have anything to add to that?
Sorry?
Did you have anything that you wanted to add to the conversation? I mean, I guess Peter, you're. I think you speak up when you know we've kind of paired together many times, but I guess mostly I was asking Taimur, but also yeah, if you have anything that.
Well, I mean, right now I'm just fun to see what you guys are doing. But yeah, if I have anything, I'll definitely share with you guys.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now what do we do, guys? Actually, what like we finished kind of the course, no?
No, I mean, I guess we're in that place where we're in week 5, and Daniel and Mike need to write like our spec test. And
Oh yeah, I remember. But we increased the coverage like quite a while. Like,
well, I think that we thought we had it, but then it wasn't. We actually hadn't.
oh, I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
I mean, what I remember is that we were in a place where we were supposed to be writing like controller tests, which I think I said last time, and that's what I was trying to find is that like maybe in Rails 5, like I thought I read something about like not being so like writing so many controller tests. It's not really like good practice, but maybe I'm getting confused with something else. But anyways, like for this week's homework, we need to, the idea is that we would write controller tests, you know?
Yeah. Good.
So,
Mike, have you focused the broadcast on your screen, Mike?
oops.
No, I have.
Go. I forgot earlier today, and I was like focused on Mike's the whole time. And I mean, I can send you this blog I found. It's about Rails 5, so maybe we shouldn't copy and paste the syntax, but like kind of maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know we were working off some other stuff, and you were saying you weren't really understanding why you were copying and pasting it, but like it's, you have, I don't know if you want to, if you could open it, I can
Yep, it's open.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure this is the best one, but yeah, maybe. So like you can see they're like just doing like they do a GET request to the index, right? And then they just check the response, you know?
Yeah.
So like there's some cases where, like in our case with specific to this app that we're building, there's sometimes that like we might want to send more information like in the params to the index, for example. So then then you could like check the response includes like some of that information that you're sending along. Like if you scroll down a little bit where it starts talking about Rails 5, like you can like a little bit further, you can see how they're like, so the syntax probably would be a little bit different in Rails 5 and 4, but like you can see how they're to the show, they're sending a GET request to the show and they're passing along like some params.
Yeah.
And then they're just checking to see that the response is a success. Like we might want to check something more than that, but like I feel like that's kind of a good start. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you could send a GET request to index, and then you can check that it like does what you think it should do. Like you can look at your index controller and you can see like what is it that it's doing in the end? Like, is it? Yeah. I don't know.
First, we want to test the CRUD actions, right? On the controller.
The CRUD actions in the controller?
I think so.
Like
it's a question, actually.
I mean, yeah, it's a good question. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago as well. Like I started off by doing that, like in like building my own app and stuff. And then I got to a place where I'm like, why am I testing like CRUD actions when I feel like Rails probably is testing those on their side? And then I think like maybe a good practice would be not to test those, like, but I think in this context, I mean, I don't know, you could look at the coverage and see the RSpec coverage and see if it's expecting you to. And then if it is, then we should definitely be testing for it.
That was what I think. Yeah, like look at the code coverage and you can see which lines are red and just try and write as little as possible to make those green and just go down the source code.
Yeah.
Turning everything green.
Yeah, I agree. And then we can also like, you know, that's a good way to get our feet wet in like writing those tests, because then you kind of will go learning stuff as you're doing that. And then you can kind of explore writing more tests in the future, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't start with the movie params one, but yeah.
Yeah. How would you test for that? Well, okay, well, let's not start with it.
Yeah.
So how I test for show is like I create a movie and pass to it, and then test if the response is accepted.
I mean,
Sure.
This one seems sorted. And the only thing I did for the index was where are you? The only thing I did for the index was
exactly.
doing the get, then expecting the response to be
to render the template. Yeah. And what does that look like in your coverage now? Is that showing that the index is tested? So yeah, you can see like now it's become green on those lines. And now the only thing, you know, if you want to finish off testing the index, you could do that, which, you know, would be one way of doing it. And then, or you could like try to get like the other CRUD actions, like Peter was saying, to not be red, and then come back to testing that other stuff at the end, like kind of your call, you know.
okay.
But as far as your question about the show, I think like, yeah, I mean, I could look at what I did, and I'm looking at like this tutorial, and it's like, it's, you know, again, like doing a get request to show like you're doing for index, but then yeah, you do need to pass it some information. So you can pass that like as a param. Like you see there on line 8, it's like ID is equal to the params ID, right? So the first thing it's going to do is going to look in the params for an ID, right?
Yeah.
So somehow, if you do, I mean, you could try doing it like just do a get request to show, and then expect it to respond with whatever you think it should respond with, and then see if it passes or fails, and if it gives you any information on why it passed or failed, and go from there. like the quiet part of the broadcast. Put on some music. I don't know if that's distracting though. Might be distracting, huh? And Joseph is here. Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi.
Hello, Joseph. Interesting. Like we, need someone like narrating what's happening. I can pay attention to my monitor and still know what you guys are up to. Like Joseph left because we weren't entertaining enough.
Joseph was just checking in.
Ah, okay. Yeah. He's just to say that he joined. I think Timur is there in the background going like, what are these guys doing? They just meet and no one talks. We're normally more entertaining than this time. We're just I don't know. All right. Huh. That's interesting. Wish you guys could see like what I'm doing, you know? I mean, I'll share my screen, you know? That way you guys can eavesdrop on me as well if you want.
What are you searching for, Mike, currently?
Like, Joseph, I don't know if you left because you thought you couldn't hear us, but we weren't talking actually when you dropped off. We were just kind of all sitting here quietly.
So I think Mike's trying to test the show.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Action.
Yeah, so I want to test this show guy, and then I want to, because
pick a movie, right?
yeah, we expect a show to have maybe a movie past, and maybe I need to create that movie. So maybe I need to pass a movie ID, something. Maybe then maybe I need to create a movie here. And then I don't know whether I'm thinking right.
Yeah, but for the create, you need to spend you need to create the right? You can add. You should add the title. You should like the form validation will fail. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to drop binding.pry. So that I can do respec. Oh.
I think it's good to have some expectations. So, like, what do we try to do here? Like, why you dropped binding.pry? In which what do you want to like inspect with pry?
I want to I want to create this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe I can go to the database and find whatever I want.
So yeah, so in the
because I know it's
in the model you will. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just in the model you will see that whenever you create a. Okay, so we don't have model validations.
No.
At all. Oh, okay. What about in the controller?
In the controller?
Mm-hmm. Like we are looking for the strong params when you create a. Yeah, you see here the movie params.
Mm.
On the top mic, the movie params method has some required and permitted fields.
Oh, these guys.
Mm-hmm. So it might be good to count with them, but since we don't have actually model validation, it's might be not necessary. But that's quite. So, for instance, we might require that like the movie has to have a title, right? Or
Okay. What did I do?
One cool thing that Mike was working on this week that I was there, he was doing it, is that like if you do that and like drop in that binding.pry and you try create with that the bang on the end of method, it will tell you like if you just put a title and then you put nothing else and there are some validations, like it'll tell you what those are.
Okay. So it's on the spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just as easy to go to the model and have a look at the model.
Sure. No, I was surprised when Mike was opening the model now. Then we don't have validation for any parameters.
Yeah, I mean that is a little surprising. I mean, Sam was saying like he's not really a huge fan of like validations, or maybe it's just like overdoing validations. I mean, you would think that you wouldn't be able to create a movie without like a title.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, or there's probably some other things you. I think I figured out why my cron job's not working.
Cron job. Let's see what Matthew's about.
Cron.
I love cron jobs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, crons are my favorite type of like. What's that? It's like a thread, like a background job.
Oh,
you mean?
Oh, so you do have because you were saying earlier that you're not
into DevOps, but I'm into bots.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe now I know how to get you to pair with me on the future. I'll just I'm gonna do some bot stuff. Then you'll be like, oh really? Okay. So I'm doing like these were scheduled in Heroku and now
like the Heroku scheduler.
Yeah, and now we've moved to Doku, and so we need to schedule them ourselves. You know,
Oh, I see.
we're doing it with the cron job.
I see.
Just to see if it's possible. I mean, it is possible. We just work out how to do it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might work. I'm turning the maintenance mode on for the staging. Then I'm entering this app and running the command bundle exec rake db, which is the same as like Docker, but just with Docker on the. And then I'm turning the
Is
staging
Doku
off.
better than Docker?
I mean, Doku is like uses Docker, like it uses containers, you know, so I can
Okay.
but it's also like you can push straight from like GitHub to Doku, and then it'll like build it, and then it'll like then you can you can put it on the internet, you know. It's like a free wave. I mean, Heroku is, you know, depends, is like free as well if in certain circumstances, but
Yeah.
yes.
If
Oh,
you
look
don't
at
use it.
Yes.
So Mike,
Yeah.
What was the result of the test, Mike?
Yeah, I didn't see it there. I saw syntax error, but then does it explain what it's talking about? Yeah. Unexpected identifier, expecting keyword and. Oh yeah. Let me share this with Mike. Did I share this with Mike yet?
Define method key for one integer. Isn't that the problem that the key cannot be a number? Oh no, the key can be a number, right? In the hash.
Method one integer.
Because movie.id gonna return a number. Is it the problem that in a Ruby hash the number cannot be a key?
I think, yeah. I mean, I
Only
don't
the value.
think, yeah, I think so. I mean, you can put it as a string, I guess, but
Yeah.
I mean, so I think like, yeah. No, I think that's, I mean, I don't think that's what you want. I think, like, could you do, I think it might be helpful to drop in the binding.pry that you had in there earlier and try to have a look at the, because you can kind of like mimic what the show method's going to do by running the same commands, like from the, well, yeah, I think, let's see. So like, what's the first line of the show method going to do? You're muted, Mike. I don't know if you're trying to answer or not.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't be sorry. Yeah, cool. So you do have a movie, so that's good. But like, so what is it that the show method is going to do on line one?
What do
Like, you know, if you want, can you go back to the code? And go to the show method.
The show method. Like in the controller?
Yeah, that's would be a good place. Yeah. Unless, I mean, you could go to a show method in a different in the model. If you
Tweaks on
I think like, yeah, one thing you could do as well is you could put the binding.pry in there. But anyways, like the point was on line 1 of the show method, it says ID equals params ID, right? So in your pry session, you can like copy and paste line 8 and see if that's where you're getting the error from. I mean, actually, you probably don't have that yet because you put the pry before the.
like here. So we don't have params.
Yeah. Yeah. That's because you haven't actually sent it yet. So what you would need to do is you would need to copy line 14 from above there, or like right after your binding.pry there in the terminal. You can see like line 13, you have the binding.pry, line 14, you do get show, and then you pass in the movie ID.
I mean, I'm not sure I understand.
If you go back to the terminal. Yes.
The terminal, okay.
Yeah, like you could pass in the movie as well. Yeah. I mean, I guess the point is that like a parameter is going to be what class? Do you remember?
A parameter is going to be
like, is it an integer? Is it an array? Is it a hash? Is it a pink?
It's a hash.
Butterfly.
Params.
Yeah. And are you passing in a hash, or are you passing in an integer?
Passing in an integer.
Yeah.
If I do movie.id.
Yeah.
It's one.
Yeah. So do you know like, yeah, so you could like pass in the movie, which you could test that in binding.pry to see if that would work before you get rid of it. Just like pass in line 14 and see what happens. Yeah. That's the line 14 I was talking about. But like also you have that in your terminal as well. I don't know. So undefined method key for movie. Okay, so it doesn't like that either. So is there a way you can like hashify the movie ID? Like, do you know what I mean by hashify?
So I say,
I think it's a brand new startup.
Yeah. I need to check the social media, see if they have any. Yeah. Cool.
ID movie.id.
Yep. Exactly. Now you might want to save that to like a variable or something, so you can like try passing that to the show method and see what happens. You can do instead of writing it all out, Mike.
Yeah.
Delete all that and put in underscore. No, you could do it like that as well. But if you delete the up until the, well, not all of it. Sorry. No, do ID equals underscore.
ID equals underscore.
Yeah. And now you can ask ID to make sure that that actually worked. Right. Or you can just, yeah. Faith taught me that actually.
Oh, what a trick!
I know, right? You don't
It's
have
amazing.
to like.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice. She taught me as well. Like she noticed when I was typing stuff that I was always like.
Can I do underscore here?
No. Then you want to pass in ID there.
The last thing I called was ID.
Oh, I think it only works with assignments. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I mean, Now, you could try that in your code and see if what you expect is actually.
So whoa.
What's the coverage? I cannot really see.
52%.
52. I see. I see.
Yeah, that's what it was initially. I think it hasn't changed. I think what I'm testing for doesn't really improve this.
I think it doesn't count failing tests in your coverage if it only counts passing tests.
Yeah,
I think the
make sure
test
it's
is
not.
passing.
Yeah.
The test is passing, isn't it, Mike?
Yes.
Also, I think the show action wasn't green as it is right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's
So-
definitely.
So it's improved.
Yeah.
I think as well, like if I'm not mistaken, it was at 50%. Now it's at 53, or
Oh.
maybe I got that wrong. I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, woo!
Yeah.
And this thing's kind of working in the background. I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, but yeah.
So, Matt,
Yes, Mike.
is this the case where we want to have like this movie in a let somewhere? Because it's I'm creating a movie here as well. For the
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think you could try it. I mean, you could put it in a let. I don't know if lets you can you use lets in different describe block? Yeah, I think if you put it at the high level describe block, you might be able to.
Okay.
Try it. Because the thing about using lets is that you need to actually call it, but I think you're doing that when you say movie.id,
Yeah.
I need to grab my fan. It's really hot. It's really funny, like it's every time I check the weather in Kisumu and in Florianopolis, they're almost the same, Like it's a little bit more humid here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're next to the largest lake in the world. Like the second largest, at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess though it's kind of getting into winter time there, and it's like kind of getting into summertime here. So I guess I need to compare it when it's like winter time here. I think it wouldn't be the same, the same temperature.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little bit cold here in Florianopolis in the winter time, whereas in where you're at, you said it's never cold.
Matt, I will never forget how much I was freezing when it was winter time.
Yeah,
I will never
because the
forget.
houses aren't well built, right? Like,
Yeah, it was around 0.
right. Wow.
And
Yeah,
we
I mean, it
didn't have any heating.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, no heating, and also they don't have like any insulation, Like,
Yeah, exactly. Just terrible.
Describe, post create. Then it creates some movie. Then what happens in the clip?
Hey, Peter,
Mm.
can you have a look at my screen?
Oops. What's...
Why don't I have two screens?
Yeah,
Can I do like that?
wait a minute, I have to go and zoom in actually because you are.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
both screens.
Create some movie. Yeah.
I can use this tag here, daily, right? Like what I think this says is that every day at 1 o'clock in the morning, run this task.
Oh, I don't know honestly.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things like asking someone to look at your regex and be like, "Hey, what is my regex correct?" And it's like, yeah, you kind of need to be using it on a daily basis for it to actually, like, so it's like daily break or daily front tab. This is a nice question as well. How are they? I want to do Jujaz Rensin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really what I wanted to do is like create a script and have it run the script, but that wasn't working. And
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't do it like that. I think you do. I think you don't need the I'm not sure. This doesn't really say. Daily and 00 are identical. In fact, is identical to 0. Right.
But you want to specify the time as well, no?
Yeah, I was thinking to specify it like 1 a.m. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
There is a good one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This place is nice. I love this place. Look at that. Yeah, look. Daily.
Okay.
So I can do just daily though. Like I don't understand like this non-standard. Maybe I don't want it non-standard. So this I think is already daily. I don't need to add that daily tag to it.
Yes, it seems like.
Yeah. All right. So I was trying to be cool, but actually it's just overkill. Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, overdoing the let.
Are you overdoing it? Why is it not working? Okay. Oh, right. Nice. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Well, if you do that, then why are you repeating it? Like, why don't you just pass into like let movie pass in the movie params instead of doing it twice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was an afterthought.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah. Well, I wouldn't get rid of that whole thing. I was just saying that instead of doing like .create and then passing in all the attributes, just do .create and pass in movie params.
Yep.
No, you still need a movie. I think, or maybe don't actually. Yeah, then just get rid of that. Yeah, and put in movie params.
And then now here. So we do post. Post movie. And I pass in movie params.
I guess with the way, yeah. I mean, Peter, do you know the way I can, like, because I seen that it's quite common to like run a script, like use crons to run scripts, but the issue that I'm facing is the script doesn't exist in I mean, maybe I could change that. I mean, I guess I could probably change that. Like,
What's the question?
Yeah, the script doesn't. I guess the script doesn't exist on the in the repo that I like that I'm trying to run the script from. So it's like saying, you know, no file, that file doesn't exist. It exists here on the box, but then I don't know. I can't seem to work out how to get it to. I mean, I think it's. Yeah, I don't think I think it's not supposed to be here on the box. I know. It's. I don't know if I have a question. Because the thing is that if it's here on the, it's like, if it's here on the box, then
it's capsulated. That's what you think, right?
Yeah, I'm like it'll persist. But the thing is that if I put it as part of the repo, then it'll get every time I push like deploy, it'll like get recreated. But that's kind of okay, because it'll still be there when the cron tab is looking, when the cron job is looking for it.
Yeah, that seems okay.
I can't remove that. No, that sucks.
Can I just do movie spot here? I don't know what I'm doing.
Movie spot? Yeah, I think so. Is it what we do, right? Is it so after creation we redirect the user to the homepage? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Create the it redirects to.
Can I see the? Why are you passing? Like, can I see? I would like to see the error message, but I also am wondering why you're passing in movie params as a what's it called? I totally forgot.
Argument.
Oh, what?
Oh,
where?
Can you go back to the test?
I don't know.
I'm thinking Atom, but it's not Atom. Atom is Elixir.
Atom is Elixir?
Yeah. Can you just remove the colon from the beginning of movie params? Symbol. That's the name of it. Yeah, I was wondering why you were passing it as a symbol. Did you try it?
No, I haven't tried anything. This is my first attempt.
So yeah, I mean, when you create the lat, you need to pass it in as a symbol. But when you use it like a local variable, right?
Okay.
Just like you did on line 14, right? You didn't say like :movie.id. You just said movie.id, right?
Yes.
I mean, that still might not work because there might be something, I don't know, but like you could try that.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing why it will not work. Yeah, I create a movie. And then
redirect. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like you might be able to get it to break easily, but you could try.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Because yeah. Sure what happens. Oh, so you didn't
Key. Okay. The key thing again.
Yeah, but that was before you saved the page, I think. Like you removed that colon and you didn't save the page, right?
I think I did.
Well, I don't think so, because otherwise RSpec wouldn't have known that you did that.
No.
So now it's a different error, right?
Yep.
So the next question is like, where do we make that post request, right? Can we check the routes?
I went to the oh, nice.
Movies post.
Mm-hmm. What does the error say? It says no route matches.
Yep.
Is it supposed to be? So it says post movies on line 21, but then in the output it says movie, or no?
I've just corrected that.
Did you run the test again?
Nope.
So that's like it's looking for an yeah, it's looking for movie instead of movies. Oh, so now it's coming back with the same error. So it's looking for an action movies in the controller movies instead of looking for action create. So do we want to be posting to movies or do we want to be posting to create? Because it looks like you have like get index, get show, and then you have post movies.
So Mike, if you go back to Atom, yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
that's a point. So, yep.
Yeah. Because you already told it at the beginning of this test that you're like, you know, that the controller is the movies controller, I guess. So it's like, it's already, you don't need to. I went to I went and like hung out with some friends on the side of the house and we started like a fire outside. It's like 2 days later, my hair still smells like campfire. Like, ugh. I'm gonna have to wash it. Right. Does that make sense to you?
Yep. So here we have when I call this, it creates movies using the movie params.
Correct.
And where do I get my movie params from? Up there. So maybe I don't need to pass that part.
I mean, go back to the error message, Mike. So does that make sense?
Param is missing.
Yeah. Which param is missing?
The value movie.
Yeah. And then you can see above it, it says failure/error params dot require movie dot permit title, blah, blah, blah. So if there's no validations, which we've already looked and there's not, and you didn't pass it a title, for example, then that wouldn't be a problem because it's a permitted, it's a, you know, it's permitted param, but it's not required. There's only one param that's required. And are you giving it that param?
So we have movie up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, try that. I mean, I think you already tried to pass in like an object, and it was complaining that it wasn't a key, and that it's looking for a key. So I'm not sure if you could pass it like that, but you might be able to. Yeah, you might be able to do something like that, or I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have a look at what I did as well, just to. I mean, not that it would be. Not that it would be different.
Define method permit for string.
What did you pass? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I'll just save the game just to be sure. Control.
Ah, right. I see what I did. I mean, not that mine's, looking at mine, like I really like your idea of using a let, that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, I think we recreate it every single time, right? The object.
Yeah, like I mean, there's one of them I used an instance variable,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I reused that somewhere. Hopefully, otherwise I don't know why I made it an instance variable. And there's like one that I did like a before block with the instance variable.
Yeah.
And then there's, but yeah, like yeah, don't know. I mean, I need to refactor.
So this permit is called on movie.
It's called on params.
Params that require. Okay.
So maybe a way to figure it out is like to go to the first line of the create method and pass in a binding.pry and run the test and get it to stop on that first line and try to have a look at the not there on the in the controller, because you want it to actually call that. Well, I mean, maybe it'll error out before it even gets to the create method, but I don't think so. So like before that, yeah, then dropping a binding.pry, and now when you run the test, it's going to call that method, and then it'll stop, and then you can check out what's in the params, and you can see like, do you know what I mean? There you go. Oh, you didn't save the, you're not going to have params there. You didn't save the RSpec file.
Yes, I did.
Wow. Your terminal disagrees. I think you saved it and then you removed it and then you didn't save it again. Ah, there we go. I mean, you could still ask your questions now. Yeah, so now you wouldn't have params, right? No, you wouldn't have movie params. Oh, okay. But yeah, you would have, I guess you have movie. the movie params though would be that method, not what you're passing from the tests, right, Mike?
But the method is movie params.
Yeah, the method at the top is movie params. But you don't want to know what's inside of that. You want to know what's inside the params that you're sending from the test to the controller, right?
So like params.
Yeah, but without a symbol. It's a... There you go. So you I mean,
So the movie is one. How did I pass one?
if you ask the in binding.pry, if you ask what the local variable movie is, does it have that? Or, no, probably not. No, because that would be in the test. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I think if you go back to the terminal, it seems like what you want to be able to do, like if you say params and then you do like square braces, brackets, whatever, and then do it like a symbol movie. Yeah. Symbol.
A symbol, okay.
So this is how we find out what params are in the movie, like the movie params, right?
Mm.
And that's returning 1, right?
Yes.
And what do you want it to return?
The movie.
The what?
A movie.
This movie here.
Do you want it to return the movie, or do you want it to return the movie params?
I'm confused.
Mike, are you confused?
Yeah.
You understand that there's like if you look at those like lines 4 and lines 5, you can see that there's a difference, right? The movie params is like a hash that has attributes about the movies, right?
Yeah.
About the movie. And the movie itself is an object, right?
Yeah.
And I would guess that it's probably returning 1 because, so I don't think you need to change that, Mike.
Yeah.
That movie with a colon is what's going to give you the ability to say what's in my params, and then pass in the symbol movie, and whatever the value is what it's going to return. Yeah. So see about doing that.
What the hell am I doing?
I mean, it always helps to have a visual of it, right? Like, because that undefined method permit for 1 string, like that doesn't seem like it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you think about it, it's like it is saying that it's getting past the required permit now, the param, sorry, and it's getting to the place where it's looking for a string that's a 1 and asking if that's in the. Yeah, so you see how that looks different now?
Maybe.
So now if you ask like that same question you asked before, like params and then like brackets, movie, whatever. Yeah, but you always need to pass in as a symbol, right? Because it's like a key value pair, you know. So now that's what it's going to look like, and it's going to check and say, is title a permitted param? Yes. Is rating a permitted param? Yes. Is description? Yes. Is release date? Yes. All that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Then when I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to work like that. But Yeah. Just copy and paste it, you know. Just copy and paste, mate.
Okay.
So that created the movie, right?
Yeah.
So then now you would expect that it's going to redirect to the movie path, right? I mean, yeah, you can do that. I'm just saying, like, you know, yeah. Look, redirected.
Okay.
And I'm so easily distracted, you know. Like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in the background and do that stuff, and then I just can't help myself.
Oh, that's amazing that you have actually. So
Okay, so
cron jobs can wait.
All right, I'm gonna start creating a website one develop app, guys. Exciting stuff.
And what?
A website one develop app on Doku. I'm sharing my screen so you can follow along if you'd like.
okay.
Well, not you, Mike, because you're doing your homework.
Mike, wait a minute. Is it the coverage lower than before?
Yeah.
I hope not.
Someone is not happy here as well.
Oh.
Like,
Oh,
no, congratulate my daddy.
Okay, now it's 54 and it was 52, right?
Oh, nice. Do you still have Tim with us?
No.
Okay.
He said he got a call. He sent me a message, said he got a call and that he would rejoin us. But
how are you doing, Dan? Are you following?
I'm trying, but I think I missed how you fixed that missing param. Can I see what your test looks like now?
Yeah. Let me see.
Maybe we should see what your test looks like.
Sure. Yeah, that's probably better.
I'm pulling a mat on you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So I know that the movie needs to be there in the, but actually, so I was thinking, this post create, we're supposed to basically pass in. Yeah, I don't know, like
yeah, so on like on online. Oh man.
I mean, we could just tell you what to put there, or you could put the binding.pry on the first line of the create method as well, and then you can kind of like interact with it and see what is actually being passed in the params from, because in line 27, like you're sending a post request to create and you're passing in some params, so then you can access those params in binding.pry, you know, and you can see what they look like, and then you can kind of like, you know, play around with them and pass them into the movie.create method and see what happens, and you know.
Right. Okay.
It's up to you. I don't mind repeating what I just said, but you know, it might be better for you to play around.
You know what? So actually, I have a question about if the test that you just wrote, Mike. So since you did you still have this let up here for a movie, right?
Yeah.
And
Mike is stepping for a minute, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it calls create on a movie, so what are you testing for in your create? What do you expect this to do?
Okay, so how I reached at what I was going to test, baby. So I just go to the controller, the movie controller.
Uh-huh. Create, yeah.
Yeah, so in the movie controller, like what I saw was that the expectation of this method was that after everything is done, a redirect is made to MovieSpark.
Right.
I think that's I think what you're asking is that let that he has at the top of that test, he's not actually using in the create. Like he's not actually
So you
using
don't
it.
call movie. Right.
Like if you go back there, he's using it. He's using it in one of the other tests when he's testing for the show. He's passing in like
Right.
movie ID, so he's using it
Okay.
there. But in line, yeah, in the post create, he's not using it. He's
Okay.
actually using the. He just wants to pass the params because I think I kind of understand what you're asking, is that in the create method, actually the first line of the create method creates a movie, and then you're like, I think you're kind of asking if you're going to create a movie and pass the movie from the test to the controller, then what are you actually testing? That's what I understood your question is, and I think that the answer is that he's not passing the movie. He's just passing the movie params.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, but also, are you testing that a movie was created? Because if you're just testing, you expect it to redirect to this other page. That doesn't test if there actually was, that it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is create a movie in the database.
You're right. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Is I think it might be easy to get it to fail. Like if you put some validations, like, and you said that a movie can't be created if it doesn't have a description, but then you sent the movie params without a description, then that test would probably still pass. And I guess like normally in a create method, like you would have like if at movie dot save or whatever, then redirect to MovieSpark, else like redirect to the form with like validation errors, you know? So then you could like write a test saying like, if it redirects to MovieSpark, then I know that a movie was saved in the database. But in this case, like we don't have that. So you could add that, and that would definitely improve your test. Like, I think like, I don't know. I see that you've like started to do like, expect movie dot. I don't know if you're going to say like movie dot create to, yeah, I'm not sure.
I was gonna do something like movie dot all to not be empty or something like that. But then I was wondering, since we did it up here, is that going to be already populated with a movie? Like,
I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, it depends, I guess, like, because we're not using it in this specific int block. So, but then it depends if it's being like, you can set it up where it cleans out. Like it should be set up where it cleans out after every test, but the database, but it might not be. Like, I don't know if we're using database cleaner or not. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think like this, I don't know whether it's you or Matt that said last time that maybe coverage doesn't just mean that you've tested the right thing. It could only mean that the specific method has been tested, but it doesn't equate to good tests. So maybe I like, okay, the redirect sort of tests where it will go, but then maybe it hasn't tested everything, because it could redirect to the index page and
not do anything, basically.
Yeah, and the movie is not created. So yeah, I think that's another aspect that maybe needs to be added.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It seems like to me that well, I don't know the best thing. It's you. I don't know. I would say like maybe add like something to the controller that only redirects to the movie's path if you actually have created a movie, because if the movie's not been created, then a user wouldn't expect to be redirected to the movie's path. They would expect to be like redirected back to the form, telling them why the movie wasn't created, you know?
Yeah, but in this case, so I think we really just want to test for what we've already written.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because since that's probably like an extra feature that would normally, like you said, it would normally be included in your controller, but I think we just want to basically test what we already have and just get the coverage.
Yeah, totally.
And
I mean, you could try what you were, if you want, like to try saying expect movie.all to, I don't know, to not be zero. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like it could be passing for a reason different than what you think it's passing for, you know?
Yeah, and Matt, will that mean that we also test the if statement? If we have an if that if the movie is not created, it redirects, it doesn't get redirected or something.
I mean, it would probably mean that you would need to like you would probably write another test, like, and you would probably have to add validations maybe, because like there is other reasons why a movie could not be created. Like there could be some error in the server or something like that, and it's not created not because of validations, but because of a server error. But like that's kind of difficult to test for. So you'd have to go there and add validation saying like, I don't want people to be able to create a movie without a title, for example. And then you could like try to pass in a movie without a title and expect it to redirect to the other place, you know?
Okay, sorry, I forget how you write this expect to not be empty or not to be empty. To be or not to be empty, that is the question.
To be.
You can write it either way, actually, I think.
Let me try
there might be a better way to, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it both ways. You can also use to not instead of not to. One is an alias for the other.
So it'd be like to not.
To _ not. But I think maybe you would want to do instead of that, like, because like that's flaky as well, right? Like, well, first of all, I don't know if you can you call empty on movie.all?
Yeah, I think so.
It's an array.
Let's see.
It's kind of like a hash, so I think that you can.
So what's the error?
Well, I don't think we have an error yet.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to write this. To not be empty. Is that like that? It's just.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
So why do you expect it not to be empty?
Because I just created a movie. I
Where?
mean, so the point was I did a post create right here, and that's supposed to create a movie in the database. So then when I call movie.all, it should have one movie in there.
But where is the movie that you're passing it?
Right here. It's just got one parameter.
Like a
But-
string one.
Yes.
So that's not
Yeah.
going to create anything if the like movie titles are required.
Yeah,
Well, the-
undefined method permit
The
for
movie
one.
tile's not required. It's permitted, but like you're right. It's not gonna work because you're trying to pass that one as like as a key of a hash that is not permitted. Like the string one
Right.
the key that's
Yeah.
permitted. I think
So
that's what
it'd
you
be
meant.
something like this: title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Um,
And then you can do a string of one if you want. Yeah.
so I think I should do it
Aladdin.
like you had. Where the
Well, I mean, that's a good question. It's like you could do it like that, but like also, I mean, maybe you should consider at least like if you need to pass in all those like a title, a rating, a release date, and a director when you create the movie. If I think it's kind of good practice to just pass in whatever the bare minimum is that you're actually going to need to create it, unless you're specifically going to test that the movie title is Terminator, for example.
Okay. We did that, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. I mean,
I think you just need the title.
I don't think you even need the title, but I'm wondering, like, how would you even?
I think in the controller they need the title for.
Params missing movie
No, it would be in the model, right?
or
Like,
value.
No validation is added currently, so it would pass anything, even if an empty object.
yeah, I think you would have to like, yeah, I'm not sure, because it's definitely not passing the test, right?
Let's try to make it the Terminator.
Oh, yeah. So that's actually not failing for the reason I think you think it's failing for. It's saying the param or value is it's empty movie. Okay, sorry.
Param is movie or
Missing
value is
or-
empty of movie.
Yeah, like I saw that missing. Yeah, I think you're missing something. Actually, it's two things.
I would assume that the params would be like, I don't think you would need the params if you add it to the end of this post method, since this like last hash would be, so if that's what you were thinking of, like maybe putting params here.
Curly braces, and it seems to be working on line 819. So maybe it was because you're passing an empty object or an empty hash. I mean, run the test again and see if that works.
Undefined local variable or method.
Yeah, so I think you need to put a underscore in between B and empty.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably.
Although I do have a suggestion to improve this test, because I mean, hopefully that will pass.
Yeah, so now it's only one failure, and that's because of this, which I was trying to.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to add, like, so improve my coverage of the index, but like I know that that's failing because of these two lines.
Yeah.
So let me just comment those out real quick.
So I was gonna say, like, I think that we're not 100%. I think
No.
You need to save it, I think.
Oh,
It looks like there's a little ball at the top that might indicate that it hasn't been saved. There you go.
So why don't we? I have a question.
Yep.
Can you count how many movies you have?
Yes.
So
That's what I was going to suggest. Yeah.
Because I think I think you're creating like 2 movies on this test.
Because of the let.
That one.
That's what I was.
No.
That's what I was concerned with.
Yeah, it's not even the let. It's inside what's happening in the curly braces after the let. So you're doing movies.create. I assume that's going to create a movie and store it in the.
That doesn't persist because it doesn't have the exclamation mark.
Well, there's a couple of things, Joseph. Like that movie.create doesn't actually get called on line 4. It gets called the first time on line 19, where it says movie.id. So when you say movie.id, it will jump to line 4, create the movie, and then pass in the ID. But like the idea is that
if it does that, then on line 25 now we'll have the movie.
Well, that's the question. We don't know for sure. Like because it should be the case that your tests clean out the database between running tests, because that makes them more reliable. So you know that you're actually testing what you think you're testing. But
by cleaning up, you mean codes in JavaScript? If you have like what you have done there on line 4, we either put like a before each test, like you say before each, and then you do that if you want to create a movie, and then you can have another one like after each test. Then you can like clean you can do movies.delete or something. I don't know how you delete movies from your. Yeah.
Maybe we could do this.
I mean, there's a gem called Database Cleaner that works with our specs. The thing is, we just don't know if it's we don't know if it's actually been that's what I was gonna I think that's what Joseph was suggesting as well.
Yeah, and it should be 2.
You think it'll be
I think it should be 1.
Well, okay.
Well, I mean, it should be. I mean, what we're looking for is 1, right? So I'll just put 1.
And then it's going
because if it's not 1, then that means that you probably need to do something like a database cleaner, because otherwise it's not clear what it is that you're doing. Like if somebody's looking at this code and saying, why do they expect it to equal 2? Because they're only doing 1 post request to create, and that creates 1 movie, and then they have to like, oh, okay, because and then if you go writing more tests, then you're gonna have to sum things up, and then you might get a test where it's like expect the movie.all to equal 12 or something, and it's like that doesn't make sense, So
now you can see it passed. So it looks like the count's equal to 1. Now if we go here,
can you do like 2?
But movie right here.
Can you do 2? Expect count to equal 2.
We can do whatever you want, Joseph.
Yeah, but it already we can see it's already 1 by the passing test.
Like, can you do 2 so that it fails? I want to see how it will fail.
Sure. Yeah. Just real quick, I'm gonna add this movie. This should still pass. Yeah. So now.
So you see, it's still passing even if you do 2, or even if
that's
you do.
Because I called movie.
No, that's because he used movie.
Created.
Okay, just do it again.
But yeah, let's see it fail, like Joseph's suggesting. There you go. So it's saying expected 2, got 1.
All right.
And if you go to the env.rb file, you can see that the database cleaner has been set up.
Movie.first.title. 2 equal terminate.
Terminator.
Terminator, man.
Yeah, so that's good. I don't know if we need that. I'm just gonna
I
erase
mean,
that.
is that how like Ruby displays the test? Like you just get 3 examples out of like 0 failures the time it took? Just that, and a bunch of, I don't know, warnings. Or
Mm-hmm.
it
I
doesn't
think
show
by
you.
default.
Huh?
Well, so if you go up here, yeah, actually right here is the beginning of the output. I mean, minus the warnings. So you get dots. This is like the default formatter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you format it differently.
yeah, because like in JavaScript it will show like all the describe. So like get index, and then it will display how many failed in get index. If all of them passed, then it will show. Instead of just doing like 3 examples, because it doesn't. Or maybe you're not doing it in
I think
verbose
you
or
will
something.
need to, I think
So you
maybe
can do
you need to
this.
specify that they are verbose for that to be displayed. I don't know
Yeah.
Uh,
If you go to Matplotlib, for example, and you run the RSpec test, it'll print like the description of like the test as it's running, and then it'll be green or red, you know. So you can format it like differently if you want to.
Yeah, if you
oh yeah,
if you
that's what
stack
I was
FD,
talking- yeah,
you get
yeah,
this.
that, yeah. Okay.
That's this dash FD in here.
Cool, guys.
Okay, so and then you also check that it redirected, right?
Yeah.
And you just used the. Do you have to like follow the redirect?
It's just expect to redirect to like expect value expects response to redirect to movie path.
Ah.
Mike, you're focusing on Daniel's screen?
Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Expect response to redirect to movies path. Movies path. Does that work? Does. Nice. And I think I just figured out what's wrong with this. So let me show you my coverage report. If I can find it.
Do it.
Review.
Do it.
So
Wow, it's raining like crazy here.
create is covered. And what I was doing with my index, which was getting the failing test, is I tried to test this in this path by changing my params to something that's not in the session. So I just passed in a sort by into the params to make it follow this path or in the session or something like that. So I think that like if you look at what I wrote, Let me close that. Oh no, close that. So what I did was I did another get index right here and sort by populated with title so that params were different than session, and then it should follow that other path in the index controller. And then I said expect response to be success, which is basically saying it's going to look at the response, make sure that it's basically sending a 200 OK.
Yeah.
But really it's redirecting. So I need to change to this, I think.
Are you thinking of are you just doing this in the same it block to get it to pass, and then you're going to refactor, or you're thinking of leaving it there, or?
Yeah, I was going to refactor later, but just check that it's working because we already have this. So yeah, that's basically what I was thinking.
Yep. Okay. Just a question. Can I ask another question? Like, did you I feel like line 28 is not as good of a test as you had. Like you deleted the movie.all.count and the movie.all.
I did.
First title. Like, explain yourself. No, like, did you? I don't know. I felt like, because you could have the database not be empty. Like, it could have 5 movies in there for some reason. Like, if you didn't have your RSpec test configured, like, to use database cleaner properly, and then that would still pass even if the movie's not being created in the post create.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I would suggest we take out the not be empty because we're testing something twice. If it has a movie with the title Terminator, then it's definitely not empty.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, there is like some stuff that talks about how it's better not to have multiple expectations in one int block, but I don't think it's something that's always followed, but just like maybe something to keep in mind. I don't know. Like you know. Yeah, I don't know.
Really? Yeah. Right.
Because I guess like you need to. I mean, in this case, like. You brought up the I really like the fact that you brought up that the movie doesn't necessarily need to be created for it to redirect to the movie's path, because it's kind of anytime you call the create, it's gonna redirect you to the movie's path, kind of. So I'm not sure if you like, and also like you on line 26, you're saying that like you want to be testing that it adds a movie to the database. So really line 29 is not important in maybe, I don't know.
All right.
I mean, you know, you can you can leave it there if you want. I mean, it's maybe it just seems like you brought up the fact that it probably will redirect no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Although that does not necessarily that it'll pass the test.
So, but it could error out before. I mean, you could get like a
an
error. Yeah, like Rails displays an error message and it doesn't show the.
True. Yeah, which is why it wouldn't pass in the test. Like, it just like shows an error message, and then it wouldn't redirect you because it would error out.
Then it would. Yeah. It could still pass this test and show that error message. So.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have seen like projects that use multiple expectations in RSpec. I wonder if Website One, for example, if they what they do there. Our spec subscription spec. Let's see, color.
Ooh. Oh, why did I not? Movies.all.first.title.
I think you have. Do you want movies.all or do you want movie.first?
Huh? I want movies.first because, like you said, we could have movies already added to the database. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I agree. But I was just you can see that you're using both like movie.all and .first.
Yes. So I want to make sure that there are no other movies in the database. So why I did that is, so like, let's say there are 5 movies already in the database or something. If we do this create with the Terminator, then it will add a movie to the database at the end, right? And the end should be the first one, and it should have the title Terminator. Because basically testing, there's only one movie in the database with the title Terminator.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably think of assuming that you're not using like the same title for different like movie.creates anywhere else, then yeah.
Yeah, true.
Because you could have like it could be a coincidence that you have like the first movie you created somewhere else was named Terminator as well, but I guess you can kind of control that. Like I noticed that you named the one on line 4, you named Aladdin, and this one you're naming Terminator, presumably so that you could do something like this where you could test that like the title is what you think it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And actually, this might not be good because it's not probably fast to return all movies in a database, and then I don't know. I guess it is. There's only one movie, but
is that how you did it before? Was you did movie.all.first?
No. Well, I didn't test for this.
You didn't? Oh, I thought you had already.
Well, before I had 2 different expectations. I had. Well, I had 3 different expectations. I had expect movies.all to not be empty, and the count to equal 1, and the title of the first to be Terminator. So this is basically my attempt to get those 3 expectations in one.
Yeah. Totally.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm really not sure because, like, I'm completely
in uncharted waters.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
where would it be? Homework.
So I have 2 failing tests. Both of them are expect response to redirect to movies pass. So I'm guessing this movies pass is wrong.
No, and I don't think so. I think that
pass filters don't work in tests, right?
Yeah, that might. I mean, that I don't know. The one on line 31 makes sense to me because like you're in an it block and you're not telling it to do anything first. You're just telling it to. You're just you're expecting that it would redirect, right. But actually,
I'd have to do this something I'd
Yeah.
have to do the post create.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess like I don't know. It obviously doesn't matter because the test passed, but
I think yeah, I think so. That's what I wanted to ask Matt. Like, how do we can we do the post like before the 8 block, that it doesn't?
you can do like a before block, right?
We could have a before block.
You could, yeah. So you're saying like in this, when I have several tests that are going to be testing the post create, and they're all going to have the exact same like attributes, you know, which maybe would be realistic, maybe wouldn't be, I don't know. But like the point is if in this case they are the exact same thing that he just copied and pasted. So instead of copying and pasting it, you could see like do a before do block, then you would can pass in the
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay, so now everything's passing. So yeah, so you can use the movies task. I should waited, but yeah. So the failure that this one was getting is expected response to be a redirect to this URL. Which has no params, and it got the same thing but with params sort by equals title. So I just did movies path sort by title right here instead of just movies path, and
nice. Yeah, I was starting to say is that maybe it doesn't matter because the tests are passing, but like I personally don't maybe you explained it and I wasn't quite paying attention. Like, is there a reason why you don't want to just say movie dot first dot title?
Down.
Because it doesn't seem to me that you need to grab all the movies. You just need to grab the first movie's title, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, you save a little bit of extra time, right? So actually calling movie.all for a large database, actually, that could be quite time consuming.
Yep.
I mean, you know, in this case, like in the testing environment, like
sure.
I think it's just me being pedantic. Like it's just like looking at it and saying, but why do we need to call movie.all? Like we don't care about all of them. And I thought maybe did you think that you had to like grab all the movies first and then you could call the method first on it, or did because I don't know, I thought you just forgot to erase it, but I didn't. Yeah, it is.
Nope. Yeah, that's actually just a flaw in my logic. I was thinking I needed to grab all the movies first because I'm just trying to check. You know, I was thinking, okay, check to make sure that this is the only thing in the database. Well, this pretty much does check that it's the only thing, since I mean, barring the case that you were talking about where we already had a movie entered in that was Terminator, then this, I think, checks what we need to check, and it doesn't do anything that unnecessary. Like we don't need to call .all at all.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool if we could do it like you were talking about, where you could say like movie.all and then like kind of check that the movie.all count was 1, and you know, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I'm actually a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised that movie.all.first even works, but I guess it would. There's no reason why. I guess there's no reason why it wouldn't. But
yeah. I mean, it returns a relation or whatever what
Yeah.
do they call it? The active record relation or something like that. So it's such. I mean, I guess if you call this on a hash, would it return the first? Well, hash isn't really a ordered thing, is it?
If you called if you had like a hash of movies and then you said movies doll.
Wonder.
I don't think you could.
Let's see. That's a stupid looking hash, but
I'll let you do that, and I've created a
in the input.
Okay, so now that. Mike, I sent you a message on website 1. I don't know if you saw it yet. I mean, it's nothing you need to answer. I just thought about it because I saw.
When did you send it?
I sent it at the beginning of the call, I think.
Okay.
Oh, I need to go, guys. Have a nice weekend. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, Peter's gone.
Oh,
We're gonna have to leave as well. I'll hang out for a little bit though. Why not?
Done.
yes.
I haven't gotten my head around how to write the expectations for the. So
Expectations for what?
for the index, because if you see at my coverage, okay, maybe I need to focus on my screen. Am I focusing on? Yeah. So if you look at my coverage, I have these guys not tested. And these guys are set when I pass the parameter title in params, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I need to call in my tests. Maybe I need to call index, then pass title.
Yes.
As that.
That's what I did.
And then here, I want to expect it to order.
Yes. I actually didn't add this expectation. All I did was check that it showed the title page again. It showed the index page again. So I also need to figure out how to do that.
Do what? Sorry.
So now we're trying to finish the coverage on index, and Like I got the coverage on 100%, but all I did was expect that it go back to the index,
Yeah.
which not really testing that path, I guess. So yeah,
I mean, you kind of checked the first thing you did was check that it just went back to the index page, but then that failed. So then you checked that it went back to the index page, and that sort title was in the URL that you were being redirected to. So
yes.
you haven't actually done a test to like look at the contents of the page and make sure that the contents of the page are sorted. But I think that would maybe fall under an acceptance test.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
Because then you'd be doing like, like you'd be looking at the order of things maybe, or I'm not sure, like, or maybe it would be in a I mean, I did it slightly different than you, Dan, in the sense that I did like expect response.body to match, and then I passed in like the sort equals title.
Okay.
But like, yeah. I don't know which one would be. I mean, yours is probably better because yours like actually, yours is actually showing that it actually did redirect to the place that you want to redirect to as well. So I think I did a heavy dose of like looking at. I mean, I just had a look at the website one controller test, by the way, and they for the most part, like they have like 300, almost 300 lines of code, which you have a lot of them, not a lot, but you have like 20 lines or something to comment it out. But in that all that code, almost exclusively they do only one expect per it block. There are like a couple where they are like stubbing some stuff that they expect the project to receive the update attributes, for example, and then they actually like. And then they actually call the put request, and then they do another expectation. So, but like for the most part, they only use one it block per page.
One expectation it block. Yeah.
I'm wondering if I stole what I did from here somewhere, or if I just came up with that. I might have just come up with that myself. I might have like looked at the response and saw the response showed the thing, and then I just like, yeah. I mean. I like what you did better, like that you're actually checking that it's redirecting and that the redirect includes the, yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, Micah, I think you're gonna put in your expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so what you've done is that to expect response.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Sorry. I'm half paying attention, and then it's not working. So why is that not working? SSH avp doc.root run website one develop Rails d migrate. Come on.
Is still movie spot?
Yeah, so if you look at your controller and that part in the index where it says redirect to, I guess that's weird. Yeah, it doesn't
Since it's still
Mine.
since it's still index, you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by default, it redirects to the same thing, which is index is movies pass. Like, so if you follow movies path, use the movies path, it's going to return the path to, which is just index. It's going to return slash, basically, /.
Okay.
Why is that not working?
Oh man, moment of truth. Yeah.
So
Expect response to be success filled.
Mhm.
So does that make sense to you?
So expect response to be success.
Uh-huh.
Why is it not expected that?
I kind of makes sense to me. I think.
Yeah.
You were talking about this earlier, weren't you, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I tried first.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
changed it.
Yeah. So I think like Mike, maybe you don't want to be doing more than one response.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you maybe. I mean, it's particularly in this case, like the responses. So you can see like what Dan was saying earlier is like that success is like what you would expect when a page renders, right? Properly, it will like it will send like 200 response, right? Which would like then if you said response dot success, then it would be like yes. But in this case, like you're not rendering something. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making sense. Maybe not.
What am I doing if I'm not rendering?
Well, you're redirecting, so I guess when you redirect, it would render, but like the response is not. I guess is not going.
It renders after redirecting. So basically, a redirect is basically saying, "Oh, we couldn't. We're not going to give you the page. We're going to send you to another URL." So that's why it's basically saying, "Well, it wasn't a success. It was a redirection."
Yeah, so I think like if you were to change the like put line 15 on line 14, like control up or now control down. Wow, why do you do that? It takes so much longer, Mike. Just use control. I mean, I don't know if it's control for you. I think it's command, but you know, command up.
Command down takes
Command
me
down.
to the bottom of the page.
No. Does? Command down?
Yeah. Maybe it's
No.
control down. Yeah. That's control down.
I don't know about that, man. I think you're making stuff up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, maybe
Yeah, try that.
I'm in the right place.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Is it still? Oh, okay. So now we're failing for a different reason, though, right?
What's the reason?
The reason is the same. He did the same thing you
Yeah.
did at first, where redirecting.
Yep.
So, can you see there, Mike, what that error message is telling you? expect your response to be a redirect to http test.host/movies, but was a redirect to http test.host/movies ?ratings, non sei okay, equals, blah, 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 non sei okay. Bravo. Let's take this one.
So do they mean I? I don't know. It makes sense to me.
I think that's probably close, but I think not quite. Yeah, I mean, you've got something weird going on in that so now can you see like the first expectation is a little bit harder to read than the second one for me? Like this, you have expected, no, sorry. When I say expect, I'm talking about in the terminal, or you have expected blah, blah, blah. And then you have a second one underneath it that says expected HTTP to be equal. And then, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about, Mike, or not?
Yeah.
Not there. Not there. Below that. That's the first expected. And below that, there's a second one. Yeah, that one. So that one you can see that changed from the first time. The first time it didn't have any params at all, right? It just had /movies. And now you have /movies ? Title. But it's expecting that to be equal to the like the one that has ratings and
Yeah.
it's like you have something starting your session or something. I don't know what's going on there.
I think it's the way that they implemented the logic for the index. It does put something in the session and uses that to redirect to where it's like an unfiltered.
Ah, right. So you didn't get this because you changed yours.
Yeah.
Dan, you didn't get this error because you changed yours to be your implementation instead of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, Mike. You know your call. Because that would be annoying if like your tests in your test case then like, or maybe that happened with me as well, and maybe that has something to do with the way the reason I implemented it the way I did. Because I didn't change mine until afterwards. I don't know. Anyways, I don't remember. Don't remember, mate.
So
what?
The reason I used session here was because my URLs were not forming as they should have.
Well, I mean, I feel like you didn't do that at all. I feel like that was week 5. You didn't work with the index method unless you specifically did for some reason. But
No,
like that code there from line 13 to line 34 is the book, like is the course material that you cloned from when you cloned week 5.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's what Dan was saying is it has to do with their implementation and the way they have it implemented, making it more difficult to test, it seems like.
What to do? So I need to pass.
I mean, like I said earlier, like you know, there's a couple options that I see. You could go to your implementation of the index method, and you could copy and paste that into here, and you could see if it passes the test.
I think my implementation is the same. Let me see.
I don't think so. I would mean, you know, maybe it is. I guess though that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dan, yours is so much different than theirs that, because like mine's different than theirs, but I think in the way that it's saving to the session, I think is the same. And I guess yours is different than mine, but
Yeah.
like, are you clearing out the session at some point? Like,
Oh, let's take a look. What did I do?
Is it in the real
No.
system?
I said, is the
Yeah.
param? Do what?
I was just going to ask before we dive too deeply into that. I was just going to ask, is Mike's test the same as your test? Because I feel like you didn't use curly braces in the movie's path.
No, I didn't. But that's because if you put a hash at the end, which this counts as the end, like if the only parameter or like the last parameter of a function, then you don't need the hash.
Yeah.
And,
So you didn't even use parentheses either, or you did use parentheses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where?
At the like movie's path.
Yeah, I mean I have parentheses because
Okay.
yeah,
You're saying
I do.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. It does the same thing. I mean, I just, yeah, it's kind of weird that it's passing for you and failing for Mike. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's to do with the.
I think it's because of the index, the way I did it. So basically, yeah, it's basically what the URL, like if, yeah, so here's what my index, it says, as long as the parameters is equal to the session, basically, it just does these 5 things, which is set all ratings, add selected, add movies, and add highlight. So if
I mean,
yeah,
I feel
so params is different than session. Then what it does is merge params into session, and keeps whatever messages in the flash, and then redirects based on the session instead of the params.
yeah.
Right? And that gets the params equal to the session, so then in the second time it just follows this. So what happens is if you have some if you basically call just the root path, just a slash, then it's going to not filter on anything. And the way mine does it is it just sees like no filter params no filter data in the params. It's going to show everything. And what their implementation does is it adds the filtering data into the params, basically adds all the ratings.
Yeah.
And
because yeah, I remember they it's always like once it's added to the session, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay. Yeah, I get it. And that, yeah, I mean, I like your implementation better. I didn't copy that part, which I don't know why I didn't, because I really like that. Like you not only took care of like the edge case, you know, like the case of wanting to be able to have like a sorted, filtered, you like list of movies that you can deep link into, like so you can send to your friends and they can see the same thing. But you also don't make it to the case where a person cannot like actually you should be able to clear your session, and like there's no button that you can click on that says like, you know, take me to an unfiltered, unsorted list.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if mine does that.
Well, yours could, in the sense that you could clear it out like manually, kind of by changing the params, right? Or no?
Yes. Well, yeah. So if I just change the params in, then so obviously it's going to be different than the session. So it's going to merge those params into the session, but it's going to keep whatever params were already in there. So if you have like all the ratings in there, it's going to just keep those since it's merged.
Right.
But so it does have that same problem where you can't send the link to your friend. It's gonna, or well, that's not the. I guess that's not the issue. The issue is
once you decide you want to like. But the thing is that I guess you can. Can you get to? All right, so if you did the params.merge session. Like I'm kind of confused which way it would be. Like you can't get to a place where you say like clear out everything that's in the session and let me start with nothing.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, no, we definitely could. I just like we could. I mean, it seems like that would be a good thing to do, and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So this is basically the way they said we have to do it is they want so that when you go back, like all your stuff is in the same state, like whenever you go back to the index. But usually when you just type in a / with no params, it should show you the unfiltered view. So I think they got it wrong on that. But
yeah, it should, like, if it's like the default is to show all the movies with no matter the rating, then that should be like that should be default to having nothing in the URL.
Yeah.
And then if you specifically want to filter for only kids movies, then you maybe you would have even a button that says like kids movies, and you just click on that, and that actually under the hood like filters for just G and PG movies, and then that would be added to the URL.
Yep.
Anyways, I mean, I guess like none of us are thinking about making this app commercially available, are we?
No, yeah, that would be something we'd definitely add in to make it a little bit more like other, like, you want the user interface to be like what people expect when they go to other. When you go to IMDb, it's gonna do one thing. You don't want yours to do another thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you want it to be like easy enough for the person doesn't have to like go manually clicking on check boxes.
Yep.
I'm gonna actually go to IMDb quickly and see what things are like there.
So what's my problem here, man?
I mean, you have. I definitely had the same problem as you, maybe, but I got around it like I was saying earlier by just like not expecting that I wasn't expecting to be redirected to a specific place. I was expecting that the response body would include, like I used match the search params, like the sort params, sort equals, and then whatever,
Oh, okay.
Because then, like, I mean, I don't know if that's a particularly great way of doing it. I mean, like.
So if you did like what you have here in your test, you have sort title. Yeah, exactly. If you add the ratings with all the ratings in there, then I think it'll pass.
But then you need to send that to. I mean, that will pass, but that will just pass because you're looking at like a failure, and
It'll pass. Well, yeah.
like it's you would need to like change line 13 as well, wouldn't you?
Get index sort title. Right.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that when you go to when a person first visits, like if you go into an incognito window and you visit the site, the URL is not gonna include the ratings. It's just included it because it's somehow gotten added to our session. Although does that even make sense? Like why would it be added to our session in a test environment? Like where is it being added there?
I know that's being added. It doesn't make sense the way they did it, really, because the reason they're adding it is because it's unfiltered. So what they did was they put a bunch of filter data in to make, and then redirects to an unfiltered, like all the movies. But for all the movies, to them it's like we're gonna put all the ratings in the URL to list all the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. What's happening, Mike? It's not letting you go to 3,000?
Yeah, I had website 1 running there, so I just killed
Kill it. Kill it, bro. Kill it.
dead. So dead. So dead.
So you're gonna go there to the
Yeah, I opened an incognito window. I don't know why it hasn't sent me there yet. Or maybe I need to look for you here.
Why is this process so slow? It's like writing objects at 45 kilobytes per second. Why is it so slow?
45 kilobytes per second.
What's up?
It just reminds me of a 56K modem or something.
Yeah.
Are you using a 56K modem?
No. I don't think so. Look, my download speed is 111 megabytes per second, but I guess it would be more like upload speed, wouldn't it? Like I'm pushing something up, so maybe my neighbor's no, yeah, it's almost 7 megabytes per second. So why is it so slow? Like it's 37 kilobytes per second. Is it like something to do with the server? The server under stress? For some reason? Anyways, it's 91%. So Mike, did you you can't start the thing? You don't have it anywhere that you can just close it? Mark. You need a closing you need a closing, there you go. Yeah. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. You're in Fish, no? You can't do that in Fish, I don't think. You just take off the $sign if you're using Fish. So maybe you do need it inside of the, yeah, like look, Fish was telling you It wasn't telling you to delete the quotation marks. It was telling you to delete the $sign. It didn't kill the process. Yeah. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Illegal process ID. Because it's not a process, it's a part, no? This is annoying. I found something, can't remember what it was. I found something to kill everything on the part before. Did you try kill all and -9 and then : 3000? Oh yeah, I used something similar. Oh, I think you need to I think you need to do the colon, the like -I 3000 like together, you know? And kill all is one word if you want to try that. But like, yeah, like that, but then move the, no. Okay, yeah, like that. Oh no. And without the parentheses. No, that no. The all, it needs to be kill all, one word. Yeah. No matching. No, you need two colons, I think, for that one. Colon. Yeah. No matching processes belonging to you were found. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember which of these actually worked, you know? And it might have been on a different terminal that I got the command to work, so. I think that one is maybe. Hold on. Oh, so look at the error message though carefully. A server is already running. Check users, and it's talking about homework acceptance test cycle. It's not talking about website one, and it's that temp pids.server.pid. So that you can remove that file because it's a temporary file that you don't want. Remember, we do that in the Docker files in the Docker compose.yaml. Is every time we run Docker compose up, it removes that server.pid. You know, no, you don't need to use Docker. Just remove that file. Remove rm. Yeah, you can remove everything in the temp as well. That will work. And now try running it again. Yeah, there you go. There you go, bro. Why is this so slow? What is wrong with my...
That's the root path right there. Like, there's nothing in the URL. I can't see your bar.
Okay. Let me stop sharing. Yeah, I mean, that looks like the root path, and there's nothing in the URL. Yeah. So it's like, it seems like it's not. It seems like it's only there because it's in the session somehow.
Can you click on the movie title and see what?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. So as soon as you send the sorting, it adds all that ratings.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I think it's stupid.
I mean, it's one way to do things, but I wouldn't.
I mean, it's a lot of extra noise in the URL for like, I don't know. I should probably be careful how I say things. Like, someone worked really hard to do that and create this, you know, cars for people. I'm just there like, stupid.
They're stupid. No.
Yeah. They must not know what they're doing. Good times. I mean, I'm kind of just hanging out, like waiting for this process, but it's so slow that I don't even know what it's doing right now. It's not telling me anything. It's just there, like blinking, blink, blink, blink. Counting objects, 37,758 objects. Delta compression, you have to 4 threads. Compressing objects. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go, and I'll just have to monitor this in the background. It's getting late. It's almost been 3 hours, man.
Yeah. True. All right.
Well, good to see you guys. I'll be around tomorrow. I'm gonna share a link with the DevOps stuff. I'm hoping that after this is pushed up, that this will kind of be maybe kind of ready for tomorrow, you know. But we'll see. If not, it'll give us something to do tomorrow. Well, I don't know. You know, when I say we, anyone who wants to join the weekend collab stuff, or not weekend collab, the DevOps hackathon stuff.
Yeah, is the thing you're doing still on local support?
No, so while you guys are playing around, I created the app on website one, you know, which like there's a list of the commands I ran on that I told you about yesterday. It's here. It's like just running. You need to be set up. You need to be set up with SSH in your add this to your config, and then like Sam needs to give you permissions, like add your SSH to the. Well, I mean, actually, technically, I think I could even do it, but then you can create an app, and then you can generate like a 32 like, secret key for device. I don't know. I mean, this maybe is not what we're supposed to do for that. And then you can configure like the device secret key and the Let's Encrypt email. Then you create a database. Then you link the database. Then you can, yeah, this I checked out like into the branch. So like pushing up develop, and then you add as a remote to, you know, same way as you would add. I don't know, this probably should be renamed, but anyways. And then I tried running these migrations, it wasn't working. Then I set the domain to website one, develop.website one, blah, 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 and it's okay. And then now I'm pushing up. And then like I need to run this Let's Encrypt. And then I think that's kind of it. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's obviously other config stuff that yeah, there's other config stuff, but you know. Oh, I'm not even showing my screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
it's there in the link I shared with you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you shared it in the channel.
I probably didn't. I probably shared it in the
chat, so probably.
So the hackathon is based around this converting it to Docu, right? Or to use Docu for one. And so are you expecting like once you get it all built on Docu, you're just gonna make sure that everything's still working, and if not, like if there's more, if that causes failures, just fix the failures. And
yeah, basically, I mean, like we're kind of in a place where we can't really expect to put the production site on. I mean, definitely not this weekend. Like I was thinking about maybe doing a staging server, but then like I'm not actually sure where Sam wants the production, like what box he wants it on. Like he might want it on its own box and that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, I mean, the process is the same. So it's not like doing it more than once is gonna, I mean, yeah, doing it more than once is you always learn stuff, but Like I don't know. I mean, the way we have it set up with local support, for example, is we have the develop, staging, and production all on the AVP, the Agile Ventures Playground. So I'm not sure if that's going to stay the same, or if, I guess like the other thing is like, is it running out of space? BF minus H. I mean, we're at set 57% usage so far. Yeah, there's a couple questions I haven't answered about that. Like, if I create a staging cert, like the way we have it on NHS Wiki, for example, is we have the develop on the playground, and we have staging and production on a different box by itself. So I'm not sure if he wants to do the same as NHS Wiki or if he wants to do the same as local support. I would guess that it would probably go on AVP because, like, but I just don't know. I mean, it's kind of like an important site as well, seeing as how it's like the public-facing site, but. So I'm not sure. I mean, we could be that that we rush ahead and do the staging server, but then we end up needing to redo it on a different box because it's, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I've got to think about it, I guess. And I don't think Sam is so responsive on weekends, so I don't want to bother him.
Yeah.
And I guess like if I did a staging server and like I could do staging and production, there'd be nothing that keeps me from doing it, but like it just might mean that I need to destroy them and do them again. But I might look into some other DevOps stuff. Like yeah, not sure. I gotta find out. There's never a lack of DevOps to do.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. So I guess you can keep going tomorrow. I'll try to figure out what's.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if I were you, I would just add all that stuff into the test and like all that stuff that it puts in the params that it adds in, just add it into that test. Yeah. So that you're testing that, like not there. I mean, so I think just in the response to see, because you can still call the get index on with just the sort param, and it'll add all that stuff in on the redirect. But yeah, so if you just add all the ratings in, I think it will pass. In fact, like you can do that real quick and we can see.
Okay. So maybe I need a binding.pry so that I can get. I just because I'm not sure what all of the ratings are.
I think you can use that movies path. So you can
in my console, yes. Okay. I think it is somewhere. Now you see the maybe I run the test again.
Yeah, you can do that. It doesn't like the
Syntax.
oh missing a parentheses. Oh no, yeah, there's a parentheses. It doesn't like that syntax, really.
I don't know.
It should be okay, I think.
Yeah, it is expecting a.
Okay.
So we have like PG-13. I don't know how I will format them. Oh man. There she is not happy. So we have
NC17.
yeah.
Looks like NC17 at the beginning of the line. I can see an NC17. Yeah. That one too.
You said NC17.
Yeah, just look at the beginning of that line. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
G.
Yeah, G. This is G. This is NC17.
PG.
This is PG. PG-13. And then R.
R. Yeah.
So do I have them like this?
You need to add a params at the beginning. I think. Yeah, params for the key. No, not params. Sorry. What am I saying? Rating. Yeah.
So
expecting it's expecting the hash.
Yeah.
Okay. Go look up at the.
That's why I was asking if I should have done this.
Huh. 13.
Because
Really?
you see here they have something here.
Yeah, so that is see there's a ratings.
Yeah.
If you start at the ratings part, like at the yeah, so ratings %5B is like an open open square bracket, and then PG-13, and then %5D is closed square bracket. So it's saying like, if you look at the one that's in your, I think that's right.
Yeah. So maybe if that's what it means, maybe this is what it means.
That ASCII code?
Because it says ratings %5G equals this.
Yes.
So maybe I should add this. I don't know. Maybe I just try.
Oh, I see. Oh. It says ratings %5G equals what?
It says ratings
%5B
PG equals
PG.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I think so.
Maybe no. No.
Yeah. Try it out. Work. Nope.
No.
So let's see what it redirected to. It redirected to movies, ratings, %5BG, %5D equals G. And what's wrong? It seems the same to me.
Or is it the order?
Is it? PG, PG-13. Looks like the same order to me. R. And sword equals title. Okay, now we don't have the sword equals title.
We don't have?
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the problem is with the ordering, I guess. But it's the sword and the ratings are switched. No, because yeah, there's something definitely wrong. Like where the on your it says expected response to be a redirect to http test.host/movies.sort. Where is it getting that movies.sort? That's the problem.
Where are you reading that?
Just at the beginning of the failure message, it says expected response to be a redirect to. You see that?
Oh yeah, this.
Yes, and there's a movies.sort. That's definitely the issue. But why is that getting put in there? Is the question.
Movies.sort. I think that's because in the controller. In the controller, they're using this sort method. Like they have a case sort and they are passing sort to the redirect.
Oh. Okay.
Weird.
Hmm. Yeah, but go to your what's running in your local host. Do you see any movies.sort in that URL?
In my localist.
Yeah, like the one that's running your development.
You mean this?
Yes. Yeah, see, there's no movies.sort. It's the correct one, which
So,
is what.
oh. So here, yeah, I mean,
It's because. So okay, yeah. Look at the top where it says the expect response to redirect to Movies Pass.
yeah.
I see this this sort title is in its own hash, right? It should not be in its own hash. If you just remove those brackets, I think it'll pass.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's why it's doing the sort dot title or whatever it's that weird.
okay. I think I need to get better at reading these messages. I really need to get better.
Now what's it say?
To be successful.
That response. Oh, I think we delete that expect response to be success. It's still going to be a redirect response. Unless you do, I think there's a way that you can do follow redirect or something like that. You can do, but yeah.
They will now pass.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. I think
Okay, so
I've learned.
what?
I actually sort of understand what the aspect tests do. Until the start of this session, I had no clue.
Yeah, I'm starting to slowly figure out, I think, what they're meant to do, I guess. I guess as we do them, we just get more. So at least we've improved our coverage. Like this coverage for the index should be done. And we did the create today, and now all we have left is like
Yeah, I think I have something left in the index. Testing.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna test the release date here.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's cool. So, is the edit update destroy moves by director? Okay, I think tomorrow we'll be done with this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess I will see you tomorrow then.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Sure. Yeah.